Hello everyone. I welcome you all to ATM Creations and I welcome you all to day 16 dot mandala challenge. Let's begin. So let me start today's story. Today's story I want to share how did I start with this dot mandala and what helped me to come to this level of where I am today, teaching this art to others and organizing this challenge. I really want to share my part of the story. Let me tell you, I'm not a born artist and I'm not trained in any fine art or visual art in any professional manner, and I have no qualifications. I mean, professional qualifications to teach dot mandala. And let me start how I started with art in my childhood. There is a small background to it. It was in my class 9 and 10 that I started slightly with embroidery. No form of painting with brushes or tools. It was only embroidery. And embroidery also not much. The very basics of things is what I was doing in my class 9 and 10. And that is about in a white color handkerchief doing the corner embroidery design is all I did using embroidery. But I vividly remember that I thoroughly enjoyed doing what I did, and I really loved art from then. And once class 10 was over, the kind of art I pursued was doing rangoli only in front of home. And I also was interested in doing mehendi art. But there was no YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook those days. I'm talking about early 90s. So I resorted to books. I bought books for rangoli designs and mehendi designs. Mehendi cone and all, I don't buy. I make those cones myself. You know how do I make it? This half-liter milk packet, once milk packet is opened and my mom pours it into a vessel or some jar. I used to clean those milk packets, clean it thoroughly, cut, and then make it as a cone. That is my mehendi cone. I still remember those oven milk packets. I was in Tamil Nadu, state of Tamil Nadu, Chennai city. So the private companies producing milk and all was not so famous. It was only the government. So oven milk packets used to be there at home abundantly. And once a month we dispose it off to the old paper mart. But 2 3 covers I used to save it because I want to make cone. Okay. So that's how my mehendi art started. So right from the beginning, I was a kind of a person early to bed, early to get up. So I used to get up early and do some rangoli in front of home. And I'm from a typical Tambram family, and we lived in a similar neighborhood. So there were a lot of elderly people around, and those elderly people appreciated tradition being followed, so they loved me and my art for that very reason, that I get up in the morning and put rangoli in front of home. And there used to be a lot of people in the neighborhood who make it a point to come home and appreciate me and my art with my mom and dad, and they used to feel so proud of me. And of course, I earned a lot of enemies too, because my art was much better than many others who did Rangoli there since long time than mine. But my art was much better than those people who were experienced, though I recently started. I'm talking about my childhood time. Few experienced girls in Rangoli and few experienced aunties in Rangoli did not like me being appreciated by many others in that neighborhood. So some people, made it a point to walk up to our home and spoke to my mom saying, she's a little girl, she has to study. Why is she focusing so much in Rangoli? Early in the morning, she is supposed to sit with her books and not do Rangoli. What they did their level best to stop me from doing it, and to stop me from being appreciated and respected for my Rangoli art. But nothing stopped me. Huh? And for the Mehendi art, I wanted to practice, but if I want to practice with myself, with my right hand, I can do it in my left hand. But that one hand practice won't be enough, no. So I used to invite children from my neighborhood and do mehendi for free. So whenever I call them, they don't say no at all because they get their mehendi done for free, no? So they come and happily show their hands. And my dad used to laugh at me like anything. Look at this girl, she is making things happen if she wants it. Few things did happen, adding fuel to the fire of people who tried stopping me from doing this Rangoli and Mehendi art. And that was like in our neighborhood, whenever there is some family specific festival or function in their homes, people called me and asked, Radha, can you help us with your beautiful Rangoli at home? I used to happily jump and run to their home. They provided me with all the materials required. I used to do Rangoli for free, not for money. But what I got was the happiness out of someone else who's respecting and appreciating my art. That was much more than money then. So, whenever I was asked to help people with Rangoli in their house for any function, I used to do it. And soon I became an expert in doing bigger Rangolis, very big Rangolis, and I used to handle it with very much ease. So, this Rangoli and Mehendi was continuing until I got married. I got married in 2000. And after marriage, nobody asked me to stop, but I don't know what was going on in my mind. I stopped it all myself. So, though I stopped my art practices myself, looks like wanting to be an artist or doing something creative, colorful, and artistic was there in one corner of my mind all through my life. I never realized it, but when I'm looking at what I'm doing at the moment, I think that's how it was. And after marriage, also, whenever there is used to be a function or some festival at home, I used to do Rangoli, uh, but not regularly. And then life took lot of turns. So 2002, I lost my son, and 2006, I had my elder one. Then 2008, I had my younger one. And then life became too busy in taking care of children and managing my work. Um, but this 2020, that COVID time became a blessing in disguise. And COVID time really helped me to restart my artistic passion and talent. Let me tell you how. So, my primary profession used to be being a soft skills trainer. I used to travel a lot, like 25 days in a month, I used to travel, and 5 days in a month, I used to be at home. Sometimes my life was so busy to the extent that I would land back in Bangalore in the afternoon. I'll come home, unpack, pack, and then take the night flight, go to the next location. I thoroughly enjoyed that also because I love traveling, I love meeting people, and I love growing my network. I love to talk, basically. I'm sure all of you understand my love for talking by now because I used to talk non-stop during my training programs from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., hardly 30 minutes of break, standing all the time. So, for a person like that, this COVID lockdown was so shocking. Of course, my soft skill programs were happening online. For cash inflow, it was not a big struggle, but face to face meeting, traveling was not possible at all. I was feeling irritated. You name any negative emotion, I had all of them with me. That's how the COVID lockdown started. It did not start smooth. Okay, so I only know I have to divert my attention to something positive. So, as a therapist, if someone will ask me, that's what I would have told them. So, I wanted to treat myself. So, I asked question rather, what is that one thing that you would love to do, and when you do it, you will lose yourself to that task, and you would feel happy and peaceful within. So when I asked that question myself, my only answer was art, some form of art. I was open to it. Colors. That only that came to my mind. And when I started thinking about what kind of art can I pursue, first embroidery came to my mind. But the shops were not open, no. Only essential shops were open. So I had a lot of friends, so I asked them. I used to go to their home by back door and then buy things and come back home. I slowly started embroidery, and I'm a kind of a person when I do something artistic and colorful, I used to feel so happy and proud of myself and share my creations with my friends through WhatsApp. And I had friends globally, so the moment I create something, it used to fly. I mean, the picture of my creation used to fly to the entire world in just 1 second, and my family used to make fun of me for that, but I never stopped it. And people started appreciating so much. Rather, your art is really good. And I used to feel happy, and I continued creating. And I came across a design in embroidery, which I knew it was a mandala later. But when I embroidered that particular design, I didn't know it was a mandala. However, I followed a YouTube video and created the design. And as usual, I shared it with a lot of my friends. And unlike earlier designs, for this one, people said, rather, there is something divine in this particular design. And how did you do it? What is this design about? I replied, even I don't know, but I also felt much calm and peaceful when I did this design. I have no idea what it is. And but one of my contacts said, Radha, this design is called a mandala. Oh, you embroider mandala design, and I mean, you create mandala design in embroidery. That's what she asked. And that is when I knew there is something called mandala that is existing in this world. Until then, I didn't even know that. I did lot of research and got to know what mandala is, and that is when I knew that this is an art form that is originated from our country, India. And I did a lot of reading about mandala art and internet, I got to know a lot of things about it. And what I did was to stop embroidery altogether and started with mandala art. I wanted to start with mandala art. Again, the problem was the materials. How do I buy materials? Art stores are not open at all. They were not supposed to open. That was the rule with lockdown that time. So what do I do? I was thinking what to do. That is when my children started with online classes. Books and notebooks were delivered to home, and with the set of books and notebooks that my elder one received, there was a drawing book, set of brushes, and poster colors. And I was so happy and started with painting mandala. And my source of inspiration was always YouTube, Pinterest, and Instagram. Somehow I did not turn to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Pinterest. That was my source of inspiration. And there were a lot of mandala designs that I saw in all these platforms. And I used to try and recreate them. I was never able to recreate, but I was able to make some changes and create my own designs for myself, and I painted. For the first time in life, I started holding brush. So the first time I held the brush and painted was 2020 June, and whether it looks great or it doesn't look great, that doesn't matter to me at all. Whatever I painted, I clicked a picture and shared it with my friends. Sometimes they won't respond, sometimes they criticize, and there used to be people who will see the picture but remain silent, no response. So I have had varieties of friends that way when I shared pictures. And 2 3 months into my mandala painting, one of my friends said, Radha, I'm closely watching your art since the pictures that you send since 2 3 months. Though I don't respond, I see each and every artwork of yours. You seem to be improving a lot. And he said, why are you concentrating so much into improving your art? Are you planning to get into Limca Book of Records or Guinness World Records? I was like, wow, that's a good idea. Let me do it. I didn't even know what does it take to get into Limca Book of Records. That's Limca Books is like Guinness Books, but Limca Books is limited only to our country, India. So 2021 June, I finished my world's largest mandala art of 625 square feet in solo attempt. And it was around that time I discovered about this dot mandala around 2021 June, July. And when I discovered, I was hooked to that particular art so much that I stopped brush mandala and wanted to pursue dot mandala. And when I wanted to pursue dot mandala, I really wanted to know what people in social media are up to. I mean, is there any tutorial for me to learn the basics? Is there any tutorial like that? I didn't find anything of that kind. And when I searched for dot mandala in Instagram and Pinterest, there were a whole lot of pictures uploaded by the artists, and I started contacting those artists with an intention to learn. But don't know why nobody were willing to teach me, and I decided to teach myself. So I watched a lot of videos, made a lot of mistakes, felt frustrated in the process that I'm not getting a perfect swoosh. um, I went through a whole lot. People who attend my live classes these days, they don't go through any of these struggles that I went through, because I already went through and struggled enough. So why would I leave my students to struggle? So I teach them. According to me, knowledge is to be shared and not to be locked up. So I started pursuing dot mandala, and around that time, my elder son, he started developing a lot of interest for video editing, and he needs raw footages, no raw videos to edit and practice his editing skills. And then my elder son was like, "You're anyways doing art, Numa. So why don't you record and give?" So that is how um my YouTube channel came into existence. When channel was started, I did not even know how to create a channel. It was my elder son who watched some articles and tutorials in YouTube and started the channel. And initially, I did not even know what to do with YouTube, but I was still uploading videos. And over a period of time, I gained a lot of expertise in the art, and I used to share pictures in Instagram. And through that, a lot of people started asking me, "Do you sell artwork? Do you teach dot mandala?" So I started teaching people. It was an unstructured teaching, not like the one that I'm doing right now. But still, people loved it. I have taught all the kids in my apartment, and there were people from abroad who adjusted to Indian time and learned from me. And I started enjoying making and teaching this dot mandala art. I actually never thought that I'm going to take this up as one of my profession, but looks like God wanted me to, or maybe I was artistic subconsciously, which manifested now. Whatever be the reason that I'm doing dot mandala, I'm very, very, very happy that I'm doing it now, because as I do, I have experienced the meditative effect of this dot mandala, and I have developed a lot of self awareness. And when I say self awareness improves, I cannot explain how it actually improves. It has to be experienced by people, and it has to be experienced by practicing every single day. This mandala art had led me to the extent that I guide a lot of people in terms of establishing their business out of dot mandala. To that extent, I have become experienced, and I'm really happy that this dot mandala had not only helped me, through me, it is helping many others too. And I'm really, really happy about it. and I feel blessed to have this opportunity to reach out to a lot of people through this dot mandala. And this is my story of how I started and reached to a place of where I am today. Now, what is your story of entering into dot mandala? I would certainly love to hear your part of the story about how you started with dot mandala, and when you do dot mandala, what kind of therapeutic effect you experience. If you can share your experience, maybe it will inspire a lot of people who are thinking of starting this dot mandala art. So go ahead, share your story in the comment section and inspire a lot of people as much as possible to you. So go ahead, without fail, share your story of how you started dot mandala in the comments. I'm sure everybody will have their fulfilling journey towards how the art started in their life. And I'm sure most of them or all of them are going to be inspirational for the others. So, without fail, I want each and every one of you who are watching this video to go to the comment section and share your story and inspire the world.